Hey everybody, happy Thursday. Now today's video is going to be a little bit different. I had a whole other video planned, but in the last 3 to 4 days, some things have come out on YouTube that I think are really important for us to talk about as a community. The way that I found out about the issue I'm going to talk about is through Philip DeFranco. I'll link in the description the videos I'm talking about, his channel, because I really think it's important that we're informed about everything. I'm going to tell you what I know about the situation. I'll weigh in on it. And then hopefully we can have a conversation in the comments below. 3 or 4 days ago, Philip DeFranco put out a video where he talked about a YouTube channel, DaddyOFive. Now, DaddyOFive is a family vlog / prank channel. I'm not subscribed. I don't watch their videos. However, I have watched some of their videos in relation to this topic. And the reason that Phil brought this up is because there was a video that they posted about a week ago showing them emotionally and physically abusing their children. It was called the Invisible Ink prank. What I saw in the video, which has since been removed because of all of the hate that they've been getting, is emotional abuse. The prank starts out really nice. It sounds like a funny prank. They bought invisible ink as parents. They're going to squirt it on the floor of one of their children's room. His name is Cody. And they're going to have him come up and explain yourself. What did you do? You spilled this ink. However, that's not at all how they interact with their children. It is frightening to me. It was hard for me to watch the video because they scream and curse at their children throughout the house. You hear the mother upstairs, you're downstairs, the view from the father when he's filming, screaming obscenities at her child, Cody, asking him what the fuck he's done. So the video progresses from there, and Cody becomes obviously extremely upset, saying that he didn't do it. He becomes extremely red in the face. He starts crying and bawling and saying he doesn't know what happened. Upon looking at other videos on their channel, it's easy to see instances of emotional abuse that are similar to this, as well as physical abuse, where the father will push Cody into things. The children are encouraged to fight one another. There's actually another video they posted that I believe is still up at this time, where there's a game that he has the children play where they try to flip the water bottle and have it land, and if you don't, one of your siblings is going to slap you. And not just slap you, like slap you in the face. And it shows one of his sons. He tells him, you know, it's not okay to slap women, but this is your sister, so it's fine. And he progresses to hit her, and she cries. And overall, it's just extremely upsetting to me. And the parents have recently come out saying that all the videos are fake. And whether or not we really believe that, I personally can't look at the faces of these children crying, being upset, and say that they're acting. Children that young don't understand. I don't think that they're developmentally aware enough to be able to act in that fashion, nor do I think that it's ever okay to encourage your children to hit one another. And so I think that those are kind of the components that I'm working with. And obviously people can disagree and say, hey, Katie, you can't take a joke. But I don't think abuse is a joking matter. I think that emotional abuse and physical abuse is something that happens to adults, to elders, to children. And it's always important for us to speak up, and it's always important for them to know that they can get help. And so now I want to switch gears and speak from a professional standpoint. And there are a few key components that I really want to touch on. And the first is that in another video, and I know I'm jumping around, but there's so much, they vlog, there's so much content. There's a video where they talk about how their son Cody, again, he seems to be the one that gets picked on the most, the whole family is going to Disney World, and he is left out because he had smeared poop everywhere. And I know to a lot of people, we would think, oh, that's really embarrassing, or, oh, you know, why are the parents saying this? And obviously all of that is kind of part of the emotional abuse. If you watch my old video about emotional abuse, I talk about how parents can utilize information that they have about us, or people in our life in general, not just parents, but they don't have any boundaries for our information, and nothing that we have or something that's happened to us, nothing's kept private, and that alone is a component of emotional abuse. And so they're not only doing that by sharing with their audience of over 750,000 subscribers this embarrassing and personal information about Cody, but then they're saying that because he did that, he can't go to Disney World. When children smear feces on the wall or play with their feces, it's a sign most commonly of PTSD and or physical or sexual abuse. And in a lot of ways, it's used as a way to control our body because everything else feels out of control. We can feel really hopeless and helpless, like we have nothing else that we can possibly do. And so children will sometimes not allow themselves to poop. They'll hold it in so much that they become horribly constipated, have to go to the doctor. They will play with their feces. They may wet their bed. They may do a lot of different things that you can kind of see as like a way to control our body when we feel like nothing else is controllable. And the second thing that kind of piqued my interest, or, you know, my spidey senses tingled, was when all of this hate came down on them and people were upset and saying, you know, this video is terrible. I can't believe this is the way you parent your children. They released a set of apologies, and one was like a video kind of apology, then they released a statement, and then they later had an interview on another YouTuber's podcast where they talked about it. And in these three scenarios, never did they actually apologize for their actions. There was no I'm sorry that, you know, I'm sorry it came across this way, this wasn't what we intended, we are, you know, going to parenting classes, or we're in therapy. There was none of that. And all of these apologies, like the video apology and even the video that came out, I think yesterday or the day before, they show no emotion. And they talk about how it's other people's fault that this has happened to them. They even blame Philip DeFranco outright, saying it's his fault that all this hate is coming onto them. So they never take ownership over their actions towards their children, that they curse, that they push them, that they encourage physical violence, that they themselves are violent with their children. Also, they act like it's no big deal that they've already been investigated by CPS. All of this is treated as if it's not an issue. And I think that is what makes it so disgusting to me. The main reason that I want to talk about this at all, because you know me, I don't like to get involved in drama. This isn't for me to throw hate on a family or a situation. I really wanted to bring it up because it's so important that if we suspect something, if we see something, we need to say something. There was a video that went out, Boogie, I don't know if you know Boogie, but he is another YouTuber, and he himself dealt with a lot of abuse growing up. And I'll link in the description to his video, but he talks about how he wished someone like Phil had said something when he was growing up, because as he's gotten older, he's had friends say, yeah, we knew something was happening, we just didn't know what to do. And I think that it's important for us to use our platforms to talk about and highlight situations that could potentially be dangerous and psychologically detrimental to someone. And I know that the parents have come out recently and said, oh, you know, all our videos are fake. We were just afraid to say anything because our channel's gonna die. I don't believe that. That doesn't mean it's not true. I'm just speaking my opinion. I'm saying I don't believe them when they say it. They are, like I said, very calculated. There's no emotion that they show when they talk about this, and the hurt and the pain that you see in their children's faces isn't something that can be faked. Not to mention the physical violence that you see between their children and what they instigate themselves. And so therefore I have a tough time believing that those things are fake. But if you're out there and you're struggling, or if you know someone or you suspect something, please talk to someone, say something, speak up. We have child protective services in the States. I'm not sure what they have in the UK and other parts of the world, but you can leave in the comments where people go to contact if they think something is happening, because there's no need for people to suffer in silence. Too many children, adults, elders are abused in this world, and the sooner we speak up, the better. And the overall thing that this whole experience has made me feel is grateful for our online community and people like Phil DeFranco and Boogie, who have used the platform to highlight situations like this and to talk about it openly, because as you know, 1 in 4 struggle with mental health issues globally. And the more we talk about it, the more we speak up, the more we can affect change. And that's a really powerful and wonderful thing. If you want to stay up to date on this story, because there seems to be each and every day new developments, I'll link in the description Phil's channel, because he continues to talk about it. He himself was abused as a child, and so this is an issue that is really close to his heart. So I will link to that so you can follow along. And as always, leave in the comments your thoughts and your experiences with this, because as a community, it's important that we talk about this. And as always, the message that I have for today is, if you see something, say something. I'll see you guys next time.